Hello and welcome to yet another book review at the top of this month. I have very recently been gifted a book by my dear friend and scholar Neelam Verma ji, who was also kind to ask me to review the same. This book is titled Rukmini, a Queen, and this is written by physician, cardiologist turned author, writer, dancer, and poet par excellence, Dr. Neelam Verma. And if I were to describe my first thoughts, I would say that this is one such engaging, intriguing compilation of poems that gives the enthusiastic explorer of a reader in you a nice and unbiased peek into the life and times of Rukmini, Lord Krishna's first wife. Now, this book is published by Pralek Prakashan Private Limited in conjunction or association with JVB Publications Private Limited. And this book in poetry is actually a summation of the turbulence and the awful predicament that Rukmini had lived through all her marriage to Lord Krishna. Honestly speaking, the seamless, rhythmic manner in which this dilemma of a woman in love and awe of her man has been penned in poetry is simply fascinating. There is hardly a moment when you would let go the flow of your read. So there are certainly some pieces that I would like to read out to you from this very small yet very sacred book, the body of work by Dr. Verma. Like, I am compelled to go to page 28, which is titled Rukmini the Bride. And on page 28, what is written is actually an embodiment of the eternal truth that Rukmini wished to reveal through her consort Lord Krishna, and she also wanted to assert herself and her states as the number one lady in Lord Krishna's life. So what she says in the words of the author, no, 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 shaking her head, whispered that maiden was just a raw rustic village gopi, plain and simple milkmaid, devoid of any great lineage, too ordinary to be anything more than a childhood friend, a casual playmate for Krishna. She herself, she alone, an immaculate princess, extraordinary, elegant, exceptional. Now, she has been, if we simply cut through the chase, a bit derogatory of the other woman that she has been talking about. But at the same time, this comparison of hers with Radha is like that brings about the frailties and insecurities in her like any woman in the contemporary world. On another occasion, that's on page 47. It's very important to bring these points to the fore, and this is titled The Desire. And on page 47, she is beseeching her husband to come out with the truth and say, in desolation she asked, if everything in your creation is Radha, then what am I? So Dr. Verma, I must say, has brilliantly dealt with such confusing complexities through her subtle language. I must also confess that the author, through her verse, has labored to give us some meaning to the existence of Rukmini as the leading lady, the protagonist, and establish her credentials as an undisputed lady number one in Krishna's life. Yet the paradox stays on. How can one ordinary mortal, now this is to quote Rukmini in her own words, be expected to distinguish between the feelings radiating through the hitherto anonymous but omniscient, transcendental labyrinth involving Radha, from another set of feelings expressed and felt in pure physical form, like what Rukmini has been for her husband. Now, Lord Krishna has gone at length describing his prowess to create out of nowhere. Yet the pain stemming from the unseen, anointed proxy, for want of a better word, the source of happiness, as Lord Krishna has put forth in his arguments, for all of mankind, the ethereal Radha, Krishna's beloved, seems to be baffling. So the author has, through her work, wondered if such a thing manifested in any of the myths that have beholden us for ages. So to sum this up, I would say that Rukmini a Queen is a job well done by the author. From what I have learned of her earlier works like Uttishta Bharata, Pratyush, and Antaragini, this book by Dr. Verma should sure be another tasteful and an edition that you must look forward to reading. This is priced at 300 rupees, and I would urge all the connoisseurs having liking for mythology and mystery to get hold of this publication, which is readily available on e-tailing platforms like Amazon and Flipkart. I give credit to the author for bringing to the fore some of the untold about this vortex of Radha, Krishna, and Rukmini. In my personal capacity, I wish Dr. Neelam Verma all the very best for her launch and also in her future endeavors. Hope she continues to keep us engrossed with more such intoxicating stories and poems.